Hello, you guys. Welcome back to our channel, CHIRO for Moms. My name is Dr. Abby. I'm a chiropractor at CHIRO for Moms, CHIRO for Kids, and CHIRO for Chiros. And one, super happy today because it is not only sunny in the state of Minnesota, it is also warm and sunny in the state of Minnesota, and it's March. But second of all, I gotta talk to you guys more about what it means to niche down your clinic. So this channel, if you are new here, and if you aren't, I'm sorry, you're gonna hear it again. If you are new here, we not only provide patient education, so all the different stretches and tips and techniques specific to postpartum, pregnancy, pediatric care, but we also love providing content for providers because when you get a specialized clinic, things just look a little bit different. And then you add in the fact that we're also a cash practice, things look just a little bit different. And truthfully, the world just needs more specialized care, especially when it comes to more holistic Eastern medicine and kind of niching down. So that is what my thing is to you here. And this is what we get to talk about today. You may be wondering, well, what part of niching down are we talking about today? And I want to dive into a little bit more about our social media. And I know we've talked a lot about it before in different avenues. It plays a big role in not only the clinic's function on a day-to-day basis, but also marketing, which we know is important, right? For patients coming in, for referrals, but then also just patient retention. People like to know what's going on, what's new in the clinic, and really feeling they're a part of the community. But something that we haven't addressed yet, and that maybe you yourself are wondering, are why we have three. We have 3 different accounts that we run, 4 now that we've added Pelvic Floor for Moms. So 4 different accounts. And I really want to dive into the reasons why and kind of maybe the pros and the cons. So when we look at kind of the breakdown, right? So as mentioned, we have 4. There's like this umbrella and then everything underneath that CHIRO for Moms, the CHIRO for Kids, the CHIRO for Chiros, and then Pelvic Floor for Moms. And what I'll say is every team member has access to all of those accounts. So with that means that we all bear the responsibilities of making sure that any messages are answered to, especially if they're pertaining maybe to a specific provider or a person on the team, that we can orient that person like, hey, just a reminder, you have this, message you need to get back to, or a patient's trying to reach out to you, trying to answer their questions that way, because some people don't answer their emails. Me being one of them sometimes. So full transparency, sometimes it's a little bit quicker, right? Especially for our younger crowd that are coming in. They are more likely and more apt to be checking their social media, that it's quicker for them to answer a question or ask a question there versus me sending an email that most of them really only want to check end of day, maybe a couple days a week, because we're answering them all the time. Where that also comes into place, we bear the responsibility of the day-to-day interactions on there. So as you see, we keep our posts and our stories very busy. So we all are responsible for posting every day that we're in the office. No one's responsible outside of the clinic to post anything on those stories because you do need that work-life balance a little bit, separate it back. But when we're in there, we're posting updates about what am I eating that day? What am I drinking? Keep people in tune, right? That community aspect that we have been driving home video after video, topic after topic, because it's really the center of what makes our clinic so special. On top of the specialized care we do is that I know the face is coming in. I know what they have going on and vice versa. It's also a great place to share all of our YouTube content, a great place to share stretches and exercises. Yes, to the people that we follow, but also the people that don't follow us, but maybe they come across a reel and they really like what they see. They're able to find similar content that relates to them. So you're also driving in potential new patients if they're in the area, which is also really exciting. By having 4 different entities that we post to, it keeps the marketing and it keeps the content very straightforward. There is a schedule for each day for each account, and everyone bears, again, the responsibility for what they're posting. Where that comes into play, right, is let's talk CHIRO for Moms. We're going to focus on pregnancy care and we're going to focus on postpartum and then just kind of general women's health things. We're going to save all of those kids posts for the CHIRO for Kids page. Yes, it may apply to the moms, but we want to make sure that all of our kids content is in one place so that if you're searching for something, it's easy to find. You don't have to scroll through, a ton of different videos being like, was this one for kids? Like, I can't really remember. Hands down what account you're in, exactly the content you're going to get. Same thing goes with Pelvic Floor for Moms, really trying to build the physical therapy component that comes with postpartum care. It's really fun because then we can just share over content. I can share them in stories and make sure that if it's relevant to the pelvic floor, well, it's most likely relevant to our postpartum mamas. I can throw it up on the other page. So anybody that's not following one or the other is going to be able to see the content, be able to get the help that they need. Chiro for Chiros is a little bit different. It's sometimes a little bit more personal. It was previously Dr. Jessie's Instagram account. We flipped it over to a business account. So there's still some personal things on there for you guys to get to know us, right? We're humans too. We're going to make mistakes at times. We're going to make typos. And I think that keeps the human in us. It keeps us real because everyone does it at some point. It's a great place that we get to share continuing education because, to be frank, our patients, while they're really excited about the continuing education and what we provide to other providers, they don't necessarily care to see it every day. You know, they don't need the notifications. They don't need to know about the register links unless they're super interested, and in which case I'm happy to send it over to them. But it keeps it mainstream so that the viewers of that page are seeing exactly what they are viewing for. And on the back side of things, it helps with content creation. So in a previous video, I had mentioned that once a month, we carve out time to film. We take an hour, 2, sometimes 3 if we have a big chunk of things we need to get done. We take it out of our workday and we just hammer it home. The nice thing with that is we can say, okay, on the Chiro for Chiro page, this is what we're missing. This is what has to get filmed. Same thing, Chiro for Kids. You know what? We're really lacking in recent constipation videos, or, hey, I found this new thing. It seemed to really help. We can get that filmed, get that organized, get it on a schedule. Same thing for moms. Same thing for pelvic floor. It keeps everyone super organized on exactly what's going on. That's a lot of the positives, right? It really mainstreams our content creation, but also what our viewers want to see. The pregnant patient wants to see things that are relevant to her rather than just like scrolling past because, oh, you know, like I'm not postpartum yet. Maybe she doesn't want to watch it at that point. Or for the kids page, you know, my kid isn't dealing with ear stuff. Like I can just kind of continue onward, right? It keeps them engaged the whole entire time. Everyone's bearing their responsibilities. So it's by no means ever this overwhelming arching thing that has to get done. We don't have one specific social media manager. We're all in essence social media managers, and it's fun. It keeps it light. We get to kind of pick at everybody's strengths and really hone in on those. Some of us are much more creative with our words, while some of us are much more creative in the real creations, and it's fun to kind of mesh those two things together. Now, with that does come a little bit of cons. If you are a one-person clinic and you haven't hired any docs yet, maybe it's just you as a doc and you have a front desk person, and maybe you don't at this point because you're still, you know, fresh out of school, ready to rock and roll. It can be a lot, especially if you are looking to do, you know, pregnancy, postpartum, and pediatric, even 2 accounts, right? Balancing out, making sure that each one has equal love, making sure that we're not flooding one but neglecting the other. We want to keep activity on both accounts pretty much balanced as much as we can. That can be a lot for one person. So really trying to balance out, well, how much do you have and what is capable for you as a person. On the flip side of thing though, one of the biggest cons that I personally feel with that, and that I know I've talked about with other members of the team, is it can feel like a lot of social media time. So if I'm outside of the clinic and I need to get my post up for the day, I need to get a reel, I need to put up in stories, get all that content creation done. Typically, because I'm treating patients at work, I have to do those things at home. And right, we have 8 hours carved out for at home hours, and that's where that kind of falls into, which is really, really nice. But for people that are not in our world, that are not our 10-person team, it can look like I'm always on my phone, or I don't really have work-life balance because I can't take a break from my phone. Yes and no, right? Sometimes it does feel like you're scrolling your phone a lot. It does feel like you're staring at a screen a lot. And unfortunately, it's kind of the world we live in right now. So setting up boundaries for yourself at home. I try to, leave certain days of my week kind of free of any sort of content creation, and really kind of then taking bigger chunks on like a Friday afternoon when I only treat a half day. I do some of my Saturday mornings because during the weeknights we have other things going on. Saturdays are usually a little bit slower for me. I'm able to get that work done. Setting boundaries for yourself so you're not aimlessly scrolling all the time and feeling like all you do is stare at your computer for notes, and then stare at your computer for research, and then stare at your phone for content creation. There is a con to social media, and it's really just about finding that balance. Set a timer for yourself. Give yourself 25 minutes of like solid work time. and then get up. Take 15, 20 minutes, go for a walk in the beautiful weather outside. Just take a moment to read a book, give your eyes a break, and if you need to go back, you go back. So all in all, having multiple accounts for the same clinic can be a lot, especially if you're a single person. We understand that, but my goal is for you is to understand that there's a reason behind the madness for all of this, and it's really just to mainstream your content creation. So it seems like a short-term stress, but the long-term is absolutely incredible. It pays off. It keeps you so organized, and it really, for the viewers, they know exactly what they're getting each and every time, and it feels less hodgepodgey. You almost have to work less because you just feel like you're saying the same thing on repeat, and sometimes you are. So really embrace that, enjoy it, make it fun. Maybe one account's a little bit on the funnier side and one side is a little bit more serious. Have the ability to do both and allow yourself to also be human in the process. Embrace maybe that a reel has, a typo. The world of AI is incredible, but there is something so special about the time that you put into your work. It really does pay off in the long term. If you do have more questions regarding this video of tell me more about why you have 4 different accounts for the same brand of people, let me know. If there are other topics that you are wondering about, if this sparked a conversation, leave it in the comments below. Happy to discuss all of them, reaching out to you via YouTube or creating a video just for you. Can send it along on your way. If you're new around here, make sure you click subscribe. We want to make sure that you are getting access to all the content coming out literally daily and not missing a beat when it comes to niching down, when it comes to specializing your practice, and little tips on transitioning to maybe a cash practice in yourself. Other than that, have an incredible rest of your day.